All right, folks, how are we doing this evening? It is Saturday. It is, I don't know, I think it's the 15th of July, and it's about, I don't know, 7 o'clock at night. And what we're going to do on this video is we're going to switch out this, wow, what is this, a Floyd Rose special? Yeah, we're going to take this out, and we're going to replace it with a Gotoh Floyd Rose Tremolo unit. This is just a whole lot better of a tremolo unit. You can find these on eBay. It kind of varies. You have to search pretty good to find them at a decent price. These gold ones can easily go for over 200 bucks, 240, 230. And I did some digging online, and I found this one for, I think it was 175, something like that. And it does have the, I think it has the, yeah, you can see it has a 40 millimeter brass block. And so yeah, it's, and this, the Japanese branded, you can barely see that there. Gotoh Japanese branded. That's what you want to, that's what you want. I'm not sure what kind of Jackson this is. I know it's a, I don't know, let's see. It's a 2021 and it's crafted in Indonesia, but it's a great guitar. But man, the Floyd system here is just not that great, these Floyd Rose specials. Something that I was playing this the other day, and of course you can see where the high E string broke. But I went to, when I was playing a few days ago, I was had to use the fine tuners here to, you know, tune it up. And when I was doing that, everything just went, it was already kind of flat to begin with. And then when I went to tune it, it just went worse. And I was like, what is going on here? So it's just, you know, you get what you pay for. This guitar was, I think it was like $5.99. And I love the gold hardware. The shark fin inlays, it plays great. It's just the tremolo is, you know, a Floyd Rose special is just not that great. It's just not. So we're going to swap this out, and I'm going to kind of go step by step and show you how to do it in case you ever want to swap out a Floyd on your guitar. It's not that bad. It's really not. Things that you'll need, of course, the Floyd, you know, the new Floyd unit. Like I said, I like the Gotoh brands, Japanese branded. A string winder here, tuner. These are fine. Some people say you can't do that. Yeah, you can. If you know what you're doing, you know it. Pick, so you can test it, you know, play. And I'm going to replace the locking screws that are currently up there. I'm going to replace those with stainless steel. I got some new springs here. These are light duty springs. I got them from Echoplex. Don't have to do that, but I will on this guitar here. I even got a string clipper here, you know, just to make things nice. I also got this from Echoplex. This is one of the best tools I ever had. Use the short end when you're tightening down your locking screws there. And when you're messing with the long screws back here in the back, you would use the long end, and it just works very, very well. I highly suggest one of these tools. Get on echoplex.com and check it out. You can look at the numbers there in case you need to check that out. And yeah, man, one of the best things. I think they're only like, what, 10 bucks or something? And I got a pair of needle nose in case I need to get something through here, you know. And of course a pack of strings, rather, gauge 9 to 42. Don't be intimidated by this, y'all. It's not as bad as some people make it out to be. Some people get these guitars, or any guitar with a Floyd, and they never change the strings. They just leave it. And then when the string does break, they don't know what to do. And it just, everything goes to squat because they don't understand how to balance everything out. And it all comes, it all stems from right here in the back cavity. That cover has to come off, and you have to adjust the tension with the springs. I want to apologize for the fan overhead. It is blistering hot in this room. It's it's summertime, it's hot, so if you can deal with that, I really appreciate it. And I gotta have some kind of airflow in here. It's just really hot. So what we're going to do first is we're going to remove these locking screws, and I'm just going to toss them. Like I said, we got the stainless steel. Why do I say stainless steel? Because you can tighten these down with this tool, or if you have just a regular Allen wrench, and tighten it much as you want, and it won't strip out. If you do that on these, it'll definitely strip out. So it's worth it. I got a whole pack of these off Amazon. I think I got, what, 100 of them? Or was it 50? Can't remember. For reasonable price. I think it was like 30 bucks or something. It's worth it if you work on guitar as much as I do. It's worth having that stuff. So we're gonna take these off, and we're gonna loosen the tuning keys. We're gonna cut these strings, and eventually undo the long ones back here, the long screws, and so we can take the strings out of the saddles. And eventually we're gonna flip it over, take the back cavity plate off, so we can access the springs back there, take those off, and we'll just show you how it goes along each step, So let's get started removing the Allen screws. All right, we got the old Allen screws off. Like I said, I'm gonna toss those because it's just not worth messing with. Took the plates off, and so now we're gonna use our winder. This is our Ernie Ball Power Peg Pro. I highly suggest you get one of these, and very, very awesome to have. And we're just gonna take the slack out like this right here. Okay. So here we go, nice and floppy. You can see the unit is sunk down into the body here. nothing to be afraid of. That's just the physics of the whole thing. Sorry for the rapid camera movement. So we're going to take our little handy dandy little string cutter here, and we're going to start cutting these. And I don't think you need to see all this, so let's cut these strings. We'll be right back. Alrighty, man, we got the strings cut there. And now I'm going to turn this over, and I need to remove this back plate right here. And I do have a drill for this. Some people don't like doing this, but to me it's just, as long as you're careful, you'll be fine. We're just going to take these screws off here, off the back plate. All right, we got the screws out of there. We're going to take this back plate off. Just going to set it to the side. Now you'll see, let's see if I can get a closer look at this. You're going to see a big difference. Now, these springs, I'll save these. These are okay. But if you look at the block, it's not that big. I mean, it's okay. I think it says it's a 32. But it's not a brass block. And some people that's a big deal. Some people it's not. So when I say you're going to have to mess with the balance of everything, that includes these two screws right here. These play a major role in getting your Floyd set up. That's not the only thing that plays a major role, but that is one of the major things. There's a few major things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these springs, okay? And then this whole unit is just going to come off, all right? No big deal. It's just what you have to do. Now see, as soon as I took these springs off, the unit just fell. I will keep these. These springs are good to hold on to. So I didn't have to, these still have some strings on them. It's no big deal. I don't know if I'll keep this or not. I mean, I don't know, I might. This tremolo system was intonated a little bit. It could be a little bit better, but yeah, this Floyd Rose 1000, was it, or what, special, excuse me, special, right? Yeah, Floyd Rose special. Not the greatest. and they're okay, but it's just, you know. And I'll show you what I really like about the Gotoh as opposed to something like this. All right, let me get it out of the box. First of all, you can just feel how much heavier this is on the Gotoh Japanese branded Floyd Rose. And the tuners are so much, the fine tuners that is, are so much better quality. I'm going to have to adjust these saddles. That's not a big deal. There's a certain way you have to set them to be in the ballpark of your guitar being intonated properly. Also, the big thing is here, I mean, look at this, man. Look at that big old brass block. I mean, that's a 40 millimeter brass block. That's crazy. That's really going to make a big difference in your sustain and everything else. And also what I like about these is that the tremolo arm, it just slides in there. You don't screw it in like on something of this caliber. See how it's got the threads on it? That's one thing I can't stand about units like this. You screw the collar on, and then after you use the bar a couple of times, it gets loose, or it wants to. I've had them fall off before because I didn't realize it got that loose. You know, but with these, you don't have to worry about that. And you see that small screw right there, little Allen screw. When you tighten that, that'll predict the stiffness, you know, of the tremolo arm in there, how floppy it is. You see what I'm saying? I will show you that. But I'm going to set this up, the saddles, and it'll be in the ballpark. And as long as you have them in this particular order I'm going to show you, 90% of the time it's going to work fine. All right, so hang on just one second. Okay, now we got the saddles where they need to be. Now if you pay attention, you'll see that these two saddles, this will be looking down here at the bottom, that'd be your low E, then the A, so forth and so on. Now if you look at the first two saddles, I have them recessed a little bit, right? And then the third is flush at the bottom down here. Then the fourth is recessed, and then the last two are flush, all right? So that's how you have to have your saddles. And these little Allen screws, using a little Allen wrench to loosen them, and when you get them situated, you tighten them down. That's how you want your saddles to look before you do anything. That's pretty much standard. And that's, you know, you're good, right? So now we're gonna put this, install it. Oh, real quick, I meant to touch on this. What I really like about these units is you see how it has the U shape right there, so it can go on to the bolt there, stud or whatever. But you notice on the bottom, it's just flat. There's no U shape there, which is really good, because that means if these bolts are offset, or you know what I'm saying, that's not going to matter. It's still going to be fine. Whereas this old unit, it has the little indentions on both ends. And so if you get a Floyd Rose unit and it's going to have the you know, the indentions on both ends, you better make sure your stud mounts are going to line up. I haven't run into that problem as of yet, but it's nice to know that if something's off just a little bit, you know, it's not going to line up right. But the way they have this manufactured, you're good. You'll be fine. So let's put this in. Let's insert it in the cavity, and then we're going to put the springs on the back, and we'll start putting the strings on. So here we go. All right, we got the unit in. We got the springs on the back. I might have to leave this back cavity door off because it looks like that block's going to be just a little, I don't know, which is no big deal. I don't have the cavity doors on anyway. But what I'm going to have to do, I want to show you this trick here. This is something that's very important. Once you get this unit on, put your arm in like this, You're gonna push it down, and you need something to put under the end so it stays kind of level, right? You don't want it back like that. So what I always do is I take a piece of the cardboard that came in the Gotoh box, and I'm going to place it under here. Just like that right there. Now, I don't need this arm in here right now. We'll go ahead and place it right there. But you see what I mean? You see how it keeps it flush? That's what the cardboard is for. Because if you don't do that and you start putting your strings on, this thing is going to continue to be sunk down into the body. So you gotta start off with something like this right here, so you have a good starting point. So let's start putting our strings on, and we'll start trying to tune it up. And we got to see where we're at as far as the tension and everything. It's kind of hard to say right now, but once we get started and we get the strings close to being in tune, we'll kind of know where we're at as far as the bear claw on the back. Which, when I mean, I'm talking about that right there with the 2 screws, okay? All right, let's get started. Now, it's very important, we got the low E on here. It's very important that you make sure you get it in on the grooves of the nut right there, of course, right? I'm using one hand, so. And you don't want to cut this too short, because you gotta, you're gonna have to put it down in this, behind this block. You're gonna have to loosen this long bolt here. And so my rule of thumb is I usually cut the string about right in here, where it comes even with the fine tuner, right in that ballpark. You don't want to get too far back here, because then it's just going to be too short. You want to have a little bit of slack, so you can have about 3 winds on your tuning peg, if you can. If you can't, it's not really a big deal, but at least 2 or 3 good winds around the peg. So I'm going to use this tool that I talked about a minute ago, and we're going to put it right here, and you're going to just loosen this up a little bit. See there? And make sure this is, I got this little Allen wrench right here. Make sure this thing moves back some. Yeah, there we go, see? So we're gonna cut the string and put it down in here, and then tighten this back up. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so we went ahead and got it in there and tightened it up, and I started getting it tight on here. So like I said, just get a little bit of, it doesn't have to be real tight, just a little something, and you'll just keep going all the way down, and we'll get ready to tune here in just a second. Okay, we got the strings on, everything's tightened up on this end. You don't want to put your locking nuts and locking plates up here just yet. You want to get everything tuned up, and once you start getting in that ballpark and it's tuned, then you can go ahead and put your locking screws and plates on there. You can tell or listen, it's not quite, it's not there yet, but one good thing so far, I might have to adjust it, is the action is really low. Again, the strings are slack. Oops. The thing is, you don't want to hear no buzzing. We still got a little ways to go. I love low action on my guitars. Action is the height from the string to the frets. That's what you call your action. The lower the action, the easier it is to play and to be more smooth, I guess, with the playability. You don't have to work so hard to, your fingers, makes it a little easier for you. So let's start to tune up and see where we're at right now. We're almost out of the woods, not quite. All right, as we were tuning, the unit started to raise up because of the tension, of course, and so the piece of cardboard fell out, which is normal. But I noticed that the unit is, I can do one-handed here. when I get close to being in tune, the unit is sticking up like this, and that's what you don't want. So I put the tuners back down some more. So now it comes time where you're gonna have to tug on these a little bit. Not tug on them, I don't know why I said that. You're going to screw these in some to put more tension to pull back on that unit. So we're going to have to screw those in a little and see what we got. All right, so here's the finished product, man. The Gotoh Floyd is so much better than the Floyd Rose Special or the 1000, you know, either way. And what I like is that this arm is, you know, there's no slack in it. Like when you have one that screws down onto the collar, it's the way it's supposed to be, you know. So it's just very smooth. So there you go, man. That's how to upgrade your Floyd. Like I said, go with the Gotohs, man. The Gotohs are awesome. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it very much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Take care. Stay cool on your stool. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.